ದೀನತೆಯನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸುತ್ತದೋ ತಾನು ಮಾಡುವ ಕೆಲಸ ತನ್ನ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಬೆಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಸಮಾನವಾದುದಲ್ಲ ಎಂಬ ಅರಿವು ಅದರ ಜೀವನದ ಸಫಲತೆಗೆ ದಾರಿಯಾಗುತ್ತದೆಯೋ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಕಷ್ಟ ಕಾರ್ಪಣ್ಯಗಳ ಲೆಕ್ಕವಿಡದೆ ಹುಲ್ಲಿನಿಂದ ಬೆಟ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೆದ ಪ್ರತೀಕದ ದಿನ ಇಂದು. ಅದುವೇ ಬೆಳ್ಳಿ ಹಬ್ಬದ ಆಚರಣೆಯ ಪ್ರಯುಕ್ತ ಆಯೋಜಿಸಿದ ಜೈವಿಕ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನದ ಪ್ರವೃತ್ತಿಗಳ ಕುರಿತಾದ ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಸಮ್ಮೇಳನ.
25 years back, it was the time to start something new and trust the magic of new beginnings. So here we are today to celebrate that past, to enjoy this present, and to look forward to the future. We stand here at an illustrious occasion of celebrating Silver Jubilee of Department of Plant Biotechnology. Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, faculty, staff, and all my dear friends. A very good afternoon to one and all present here. I, Yamini,
ನಾನು ದೇವರಾಜ,
welcome you all to the valedictory ceremony of International Conference on Biotechnology, Trends and Future Prospects 2022. It gave us an explosion of creative ideas.
It created an arena for budding scientists.
An event bombarded with dynamic speakers. And this year, International Conference on Biotechnology has proved even bigger, with a series of guest lectures and poster presentations.
ಭವ್ಯ ಭಾರತದ ದಿವ್ಯ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿಯಂತೆ ಶುಭ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಒಂದು ಸುಮಧುರ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನಾ ಗೀತೆಯೊಂದಿಗೆ ಆರಂಭಿಸೋಣ.
Prayer. Prayer is an invocation of the heart, calling forth of divine energies to be manifested in one's life. Time spent in prayer refreshes and rejuvenates the soul. So now, I call upon Ms. Sahana and team to lead us into prayer. Hello.
ನೀನಮ್ಮ ಗೆಲುವಾಗಿ ಬಾ ಗಜಮುಖನೇ, ನೀನಮ್ಮ ಗೆಲುವಾಗಿ ಬಾ, ನೀನಮ್ಮ ಗೆಲುವಾಗಿ ಬಾ ಗಜಮುಖನೇ, ನೀನಮ್ಮ ಗೆಲುವಾಗಿ ಬಾ. ಗುರುಕುಲಕ್ಕೆ ವರವಾಗಿ ಗುರಿ ತೋರೋ ಗುರುವಾಗಿ ಹೊರೆ ನೀನು ಎಂದೆಂದು ಕರುಣಾಳು ಬಾ ಬಂದು, ನೀನಮ್ಮ ಗೆಲುವಾಗಿ ಬಾ ಗಜಮುಖನೇ, ನೀನಮ್ಮ ಗೆಲುವಾಗಿ ಬಾ. ಬಾಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದಾಗಿ ಬಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಯಾಗಿ, ಕ್ಷಣ ಕ್ಷಣವು ನಮಗಾಗಿ ನೆರವಾಗು ಬೆಳಕಾಗಿ. ಬಾಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದಾಗಿ ಬಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಯಾಗಿ, ಕ್ಷಣ ಕ್ಷಣವು ನಮಗಾಗಿ ನೆರವಾಗು ಬೆಳಕಾಗಿ. ದೈರಲಿ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಗತಿ ನೀನೇ, ಆದಿಯಲಿ ನೀನಮ್ಮ ಗೆಲುವಾಗಿ ಬಾ ಗಜಮುಖನೇ, ನೀನಮ್ಮ ಗೆಲುವಾಗಿ ಬಾ. ಗುರುಕುಲಕ್ಕೆ ವರವಾಗಿ ಗುರಿ ತೋರೋ ಗುರುವಾಗಿ ಹೊರೆ ನೀನು ಎಂದೆಂದು ಕರುಣಾಳು ಬಾ ಬಂದು, ನೀನಮ್ಮ ಗೆಲುವಾಗಿ ಬಾ ಗಜಮುಖನೇ, ನೀನಮ್ಮ ಗೆಲುವಾಗಿ ಬಾ.
A day without prayer is a day without blessing, and a life without prayer is a life without power. It was a delight, guys. Thank you for gracing this function with your melodious voices. Now, I call upon the stage Dr. Anita Peter, Professor, Department of Plant Biotechnology, University of Agriculture Sciences, Bangalore, to welcome the guests.
Good afternoon to one and all gathered here for the valedictory of the International Conference on Biotechnology, Trends and Future Prospects 2022 on behalf of the Department of Plant Biotechnology. I take this opportunity to invite the esteemed guests and dignitaries for the day. I extend a warm welcome to our chief guest, Dr. K. Srinivas, ADG, IP Cell, ICAR, New Delhi for today's program. A heartfelt welcome to our beloved registrar, Dr. Basave Gowda. To our Dean of Postgraduate Studies, Dr. H.C. Prakash. To the Director of Extension, Dr. K. Narayan Gowda. To our Administrative Officer and the University Head of our department, Department of Plant Biotechnology, Dr. K.M. Harnikumar sir. I also welcome our Head of Department, Dr. S. Shamalama. I extend a very warm welcome to all the participants, scientists, students, industrialists, entrepreneurs, heads of departments of different departments of UAS Bangalore, faculty and friends and well-wishers for this very important event of the conference. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you, ma'am. Now I take the privilege to invite Dr. Veena S. Anil, Professor, Department of Plant Biotechnology, University of Agricultural Sciences, Bengaluru, to present the conference report.
Good afternoon. It is indeed a honor to be reading out or presenting the conference report. I have to be frank, for the last three days, I've been so enthralled by the discourse in this room that I haven't been able to go out of this room during the sessions. It has been really exciting and wonderful time. Yeah, so this international conference on biotechnology trends and future prospects 2022 was organized as a part of the Silver Jubilee celebrations of the Department of Plant Biotechnology and executed from 13 to 15 September 2022. Next slide. So I'll briefly say something about the department. The Department of Plant Biotechnology USB focuses on advanced research in the area of biotechnology, biochemistry and bioinformatics. Research and academic programs of the department are driven by the core agricultural research mandate of this university, including bidirectional knowledge transaction with farmers via a strong network of our own KVKs. The department places farmers and students as its major stakeholders. So the mission of, the vision of the department is developing quality human resource and addressing challenging problems in agriculture and allied activities through biotechnological intervention with basic strategic and translational research in the core area of molecular biology, biotechnology and biochemistry and bioinformatics. Our mission highlights are: number one, generating quality human resource in the area of molecular biology and biotechnology. We have one MSc as well as a PhD program in biotechnology. And in biochemistry, we have an MSc and now a PhD program, and bioinformatics and MSc program. The second highlight is conducting cutting-edge research in molecular marker, biosensors, biostimulants, transgenics, metabolomics, and functional genomics, nanoscience, big data analysis, etc. Next slide. So biotechnology is a discipline of life science with great potential to contribute in the advancement of agriculture, medicine, food and feed, and many industrial processes. To extend the reach and multiply the utility of current understanding, there is a need to integrate and bridge the gap between fundamental science and applied research findings, and also integrate with other non-biotechnological disciplines to evolve transdisciplinary outcomes, further leading to innovation and translational research. So, to keeping this in mind, the international conference entitled Biotechnology Trends and Future Prospect was organized by inviting scientists, academicians, and from university, research institute, industrialists, and CEOs of incubators, nationally as well as internationally, to have scientific discourse in 6 thematic areas, namely crop improvement by molecular and biotechnological approaches. Number 2, frontiers in biotechnology and bioinformatics. 3, environmental and biofuel biotechnology. 4, fisheries and animal biotechnology. 5, industrial biotechnology. And the last one today was a panel on entrepreneurship in biotechnology. So next slide. So I've just put this slide together to show you that, the preparation for the conference started more than 5 months back. It started with the idea that we should have a conference, and that I think Dr. Harini Kumar sir put it in our minds that we should have a conference with the Silver Jubilee. So 5 or 6 months back, we started making calls and sending emails to speakers and making a list of lead speakers. After that, we got out the brochure. The brochure is right here. All of you have seen it. So this was bought out, and after that several committees were made, and we have worked in cohesion to do various things. So there's a photograph there of many of us sitting and doing different jobs, actually, putting the compendium together, the souvenir together, or the invitation together, raising funds. So this has been a huge effort, actually, and it has been a teamwork. And also I would like to mention here that our seniors who have retired professors and seniors of the department have been with us throughout and giving us advice as we went through this process of preparation and organization. Next slide. So the delegate information, initially we felt we are not getting registrations at all. Okay, there was a time like that. But towards the end, there were a lot of registrations. Total participants is 463. Online participants 109, out of which, and offline participation is 353. Participants from abroad were 6, and we had participants from all several 15 states of India, which is listed out there. The graph shows you the breakup, online and offline, and also student participants and faculty participants. So it has been real good response to this call for the conference. Next slide. So the sessions on thematic areas, I'll just briefly tell some of the highlights from the 6 thematic areas. The sessions on, the whole conference started with the, inauguration by our Vice Chancellor, in the presence of Board of Regents, guests and dignitaries, and Dr. Shamlama, our HOD and Organizing Secretary, and also Dr. Harini Kumar, AO, and also former HOD. So this was on 13th September 2022, and these are some of the pictures from that function. Next slide. So we had the total of 34 lead speakers were invited to explore new opportunities in the frontier areas of advanced biotechnology. This conference aimed at bringing disciplines such as advanced biotechnology, biochemistry, genomics, metabolomics, big data analysis, etc. So I've just made a few slides of the 10, these are the 10 lead speakers from the crop improvement. Next slide. The 10 lead speakers from biochemistry, bioinformatics. Next slide. We had 3 speakers from in the theme of environmental and biofuel biotechnology. 3 lead speakers from fisheries and animal biotechnology. Next slide. We had 2 speakers from industrial biotechnology. Both are, heading CEOs of their own companies and doing very well. And lastly, we ended the whole conference with a very, very interesting panel discussion on entrepreneurship in biotechnology. We had 6 panelists there. So, you can go back to crop improvement panel. Previous slides. Previous. Okay, yeah. So the session on thematic area on crop improvement and the areas of around biochemistry and bioinformatics were initially kept on separate days, but later it all got a little mixed up due to various reasons, but it is okay because we need to integrate these topics. They were just interspersed with each other and spread over the first 2 days. Eminent scientists from IAC, NCBS, CCAMP, ICR, Central Plantation Crop Research Institute, IPK Gattersleben, Germany, US, Raichur, Regional Center for Biotechnology. From all these places, the lead speakers spoke on basic and molecular aspects of plant development, stress databases, role of small RNAs in crop domestication and development, metabolomics, pathway engineering, genomics, and ribosomal proteins for stress tolerance. Under the theme of crop improvement, accomplished scientists from IARI, New Delhi, Purdue University, University of Alabama, USA, Seoul National University, Korea, IPK Gattersleben, Germany, Indian Institute of Rice Research, Hyderabad, US, and USB, spoke in depth about the latest technologies in marker-assisted breeding, speed breeding, gene editing, transgenic technology for developing stress-resilient crops, achieving higher yield potential by changing plant architecture, improving quality aspects, and biofortification of crops. Several of the lead speakers in crop improvement and in biochemistry thematic area, including Dr. K.K. Narayan, Dr. C.S. Prakash, Dr. Vishwanathan, Dr. Ramanjani Gowda sir, and Dr. Yoen Kumlen, reiterated the importance and far-reaching potential of gene editing technology CRISPR-Cas9. Dr. C.S. Prakash and others gave several examples of trait improvement using CRISPR technology such as high GABA tomato, golden banana, golden rice, climate-resilient crops, biotic stress tolerance, and virus resistance. The deliberations made in these sessions, it was clear that genome editing using CRISPR-Cas technology has indeed emerged as a silver lining to overcome drawbacks of general plant transformation. The method helps to edit only the specific sequences without adding exogenous genes. Thus, the CRISPR-Cas edited crops are exempted from biosafety regulation in several countries. Dr. K.K. Narayanan, CEO of Agri Genome Bangalore, deliberated on innovations in gene editing and translation of these technologies in agri-tech industry. It was also discussed that the IP around Cas9 is complex and can create a bottleneck in the research using this tool. And he challenged the researchers here to bioprospect for Cas9 variants from other microbes to overcome the issue of IP. Dr. Vibha Ahuja, CGM Biotech Consortia of India Limited, DBT, summed up these deliberations on crop improvement and basic sciences by discussing key regulatory consideration for research and application of genome editing plants in India. The thematic area of environmental and biofuel biotechnology comprised of very interesting talks on plant root response to pathogen attack, beneficial plant microbe interaction, and biofuel production from diatoms by eminent speakers from Friedrich Schiller University, Jena, Germany, Dr. T.K. Gowda sir from USB, Dr. Hari Singh Gaur, Central University, Sagar, MP. So these were the speakers from these institutes. The importance of beneficial microorganism and plant cellular responses to microbes and the need to tap into these interactions was brought forth in these sessions. The session on fisheries and animal biotechnology on the third day of the conference, that's today, comprised of well-accomplished scientists from AFSU, that is a Fisheries College, and Neuroscience Unit, Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Scientific Research, Bangalore, and NCR Biotech Science Cluster, Faridabad, who spoke on development of immunodiagnostics in fisheries and aquatic health management, on autophagy and its fundamental importance in animal and plant models, and indigenous vaccine platforms for emerging infectious viral diseases. The session demonstrated the importance of biotechnology in cutting-edge research in animal sciences and vaccine development. The session on industrial biotechnology that happened today again boasted of two successful industrialists in the agri-biotech sector speaking on traditional conventional biologicals as drugs and on biofertilizers and biostimulants, on soil fertility and integrated crop nutrient. Lastly, the conference ended with a panel discussion on entrepreneurship in biotechnology with a panel of experts. First, of course, is Dr. K. Srinivas, ADG, ICAR, CEO, Atal Incubation Centers, CCMB Hyderabad, Director CCAMP, CEO, Bionest AIC, Coordinator Bionest AIC, and the Director of BBC Bangalore, and the expert on regulatory compliance for startups. The panelists discussed on aspects of innovation in agriculture, biotechnology, regulatory compliance, and the current scenario of startup ecosystem in India, and government support and funding available for startups. It generated a lot of discussion in this last session. In addition, parallel oral sessions on all the thematic area was conducted on the 13th September with 26 oral presentations. The poster sessions were on the different thematic areas were spread out over the 3 days. We had 143 posters. Can you go to the next? So this 143 poster overall on all 3 days of the conference. The oral and poster sessions, okay, this is basically the slide is showing you the different thematic areas and the abstracts submitted under those. 43% were crop improvement by molecular and biotechnological approaches, 25 from biochemistry, bioinformatics, and the remaining environmental science and biofuel biotechnology. Also, we got substantial number of abstracts, and the remaining are smaller ones, that is animal biotechnology, industrial, and entrepreneurship. Next slide. Okay. So the oral and poster sessions gave opportunity to young scientists to present their work and interact with peers and jury and obtain critical evaluations on their research. So some of the trust areas that have been shortlisted after the deliberation of the 3-day session are as follows. Molecular marker, trust areas of research and futuristic research are as follows. The molecular marker and marker-based characterization of crops using the latest technologies, diagnostic tools for rapid screening of plant diseases, novel biostimulants for increasing productivity and disease resistance in crop plants, high throughput metabolomic and chemometric approaches in chemical fingerprinting and functional genomics, novel agriculturally important nanomaterials and formulations with bioinoculants for precision nutrient use in crop plants, development of climatic resilient, disease resistant and high yielding crops by transgenic as well as genome editing approaches, data analytics and development of statistical pipelines in solving agriculturally relevant problems through novel computational approaches, bioprospecting and bioassay, guided exploitation of therapeutically and pharmacologically important metabolites, biotechnological approaches in food value addition, development of state-of-the-art high-throughput spectroscopic and analysis of plant samples for xenobiotics, metabolite markers, metabolite fingerprinting, metabolite profile, etc., understanding plant microbe interactions and underlying signaling pathway to be further exploited in agriculture. Next slide. So the conference was successful in bringing more than 500 researchers from different research institutes, academic institutes, and organizations, providing a platform for scientific discussion and deliberation, and it has ignited the minds, young minds, and built transdisciplinary futuristic research for strengthening core and allied agricultural research in India, as well as opening new research opportunities for budding scientists who wish to pursue research as a career, and also encourage entrepreneurship as a potential option to the student delegates. So I have a few pictures, of the conference. And this we had 14th evening, we had an alumni meet and cultural evening. You can see the pictures there. It's being inaugurated by lighting the lamp by two of our very senior retired professors from biochemistry department earlier. Dr. Uma Poddar and Dr. Elizabeth John, and Dr. T.K. Sir is also there in the photo. All the teachers were there, and then students performing very enthusiastic and very performances. Yeah, next slide. Thanks very much. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I call upon Ms. Srivalli to introduce chief guest of today's program, Dr. K. Srinivas, Assistant Director General, IP Cell, ICAR, New Delhi.
It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. K. Srinivas, Assistant Director General at ICAR New Delhi. He is responsible for creating and management of intellectual property and its commercialization aspects, along with agribusiness incubation management in ICAR. He is also one of the directors on board of Agri Innovative Limited, a commercial arm of Department of Agricultural Research and Education, ICAR. In 2018, he steered ICAR NAMS Incubator Award from Government of India. He has more than 30 years of experience in management, research, development, and extension related issues. Now I request Dr. K. Srinivas to address the gathering.
Good afternoon, everybody. My greetings to university. Thanks to university for requesting me to be here today for panel discussion earlier. In fact, it was supposed to be a lecture. We converted it into panel discussion because that would have been more effect rather than giving one-side lecture. Then Shri Basavagowdaji, Dr. Basavagowdaji, Registrar, Dr. Suresha, Dean, Dr. Harini Kumar, a new name, I think, Administrative Officer. I know him as a head earlier. Dr. K. Narayan Gowda, Director of Extension, Dr. Prakashji, and Dr. Veena, and the head of department here, Dr. Shamalammaji. Thank you very much for calling here. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually delighted to see the way that conference has been organized in last 2-3 days. I was in constant touch with the people, not only the people from the dais, but of the dais also a couple of people I was trying to find it out. As you know, that couple of speakers I know very well, Dr. A.K. Singh, Dr. Vishwanath, and all those things. I had a bit of feedback from there also. It was a nicely organized one. Why we organize the seminars and conferences? It is definitely to exchange views and understand each other about what exactly the things are going on in a particular area of interest that is there. In this case, it is biotechnology, specifically biotechnology research and its future aspects. When we talk about the biotechnology research and future aspects, and which you have completed 25 years, which is again a praiseworthy thing, and continuously innovating in it. I'm basically looking after the innovation, so innovation word will come many times in this particular area. So when we talk about any type of innovation, biotechnology is emerging like anything. We have to achieve the agricultural revolution 4.0 by 2047 as per the new vision that is coming out by Government of India. And when we talk about agricultural revolution 2.40, we have to do lot of work in this particular area not only in biotechnology, but deep tech research, converging different other sciences like industrial sciences like IoT or machine learning or drone technology to the technology that we are also familiar with, that is mostly the agriculture. When we have to do this, morning I think one of the speaker who was talking on the precision farming, a person who is from industry, I remember the name, Mr. Yeah. So he was actually trying to bring that dream and showcase now it at this point of time. We have around 20, 30, 25 years more to achieve this, and everyone must have gear to this. And I especially request and call for all the students to think beyond what is being taught in the class or what you see in the labs. You have to think out of box and come out with the new technologies within the work which you are doing it. No one thought ki bioinformatics can be very important subject, but now it is one of the leading things which can generate lot of understanding, not only in the biosciences but also can convert it into the economic and social aspect of the human behavior, animal behavior, plant behavior, whatever things we are looking at this point of time. I'll not take much of time. I just wanted to ask a couple of. I wanted to advise couple of things at this point of time. Is that you are doing definitely good. You have an incubation center from the BioNest. You can get some more incubation centers. Incubation centers are basically a place where you can think freely, act freely, imagine whatever you want. Sky is the limit. Probably that's also not there. There is no limit, even you can go beyond the skies, and then come up with the solutions what the society is facing. We have to actually do the science for the society. Yes, it is science is a very interesting fact. When I took the science, leaving the other things out, but later on I again came to management side. That's also management science is also an interesting side. You have to look into a lot of data and understand the behavioral aspects, and then only you can look into the management of the things. This is one thing, but whatever you do, you have to protect your intellectual asset. Intellectual asset is becoming more valuable than the physical asset. That is very, very important. You have to understand. In earlier times, physical asset was more important, building or car or something was more important, but now your brain is more important than everything. Whatever the thought process you have, whatever the area of work you wanted to do, you have to protect it. And the protection is very, very important. As I told you in the first half also, Government of India has its own IP regulations. We have to be very careful in this particular area. Besides that, almost every big organization, and hope you also have at your US Bangalore, the guidelines of intellectual property and technology transfer, that is what we call as a technology commercialization. In ICR, we have an arm called Agri Innovate, and we have a very presently very dynamic CEO from this particular city, Bangalore. So she has really taken care of lot of technologies transfers of ICR scientists, which people say ki ICR scientists outcomes are being shelved in the place. It is going into the field through the people who are entrepreneurs, who are there in industry. Government cannot actually do everything on their own. It needs people who can actually do, and these people we call as entrepreneurs, industry or consultants. They are actually required for this, and they can you can share our knowledge on some sort of giving some value to this, and then you can take it to the field. That's what we are trying to do it. Besides that, as I told you, incubation centers are important. You have an incubation center where you nurture a lot of innovations. Some things you may feel that this is very old, but at that particular point of time, that becomes very, very important aspects. So you have to think in that way. Ki even the old things, if you are putting it in a new shape, a new methodology or with a new packaging, that itself is an innovation, and you have to understand that innovation and convert it into your life. Every step in your life, whether you, even if you go for a job, you have to be, your behavior have to be an entrepreneurial behavior, then only you have to succeed. This particular word I am repeating many times, innovation and entrepreneur, because it is there in every field of life, including biotechnology. You have seen in Bangalore itself, Bangalore is one of the, rather the best place where a lot of innovations and entrepreneurial development happen in India. This is the topmost one, followed by many other cities. And I'm happy to be here and talking to you about this. For any type of things, you can always, ICR will always be there to help you for the national and international level issues that can be taken up. I will not take much time, and I also like to convey the greetings to Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, who could not be here, but recently I met him and I was telling that I will be coming here. So convey my greetings to here, and thanks to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable advice. Now, I cordially invite Dr. H.C. Prakash, Dean, Postgraduate Studies, University of Agriculture Science, Bangalore, to address the gathering.
Chief guest of the today's function, Dr. K. Srinivas sir, ADG, IPCL, ICR, New Delhi, and today's president, Dr. For the function is Dr. Basavagowda sir, Register, and the Narayan Gowda sir, Director of Extension, and Suresh is not there, and also our University Head of Biotechnology, Dr. Ardi Kumar, and Dr. Samlama Madam, Professor Head Biotechnology, and all our colleagues and delegates. First of all, I congratulate everybody for having successfully completion of this this important symposium. So here, I think in this symposium, biotechnology aspects, bioinformatics, other things have been covered. I think with respect to the crop productions, much of the papers have not received, it seems like that. But I would like to highlight one or two words here regarding the problem of the things. As you know, in India, India has attained the food production, especially food grain production, about 308 million tons in the previous year. And also it has successful in completion of all the revolutions at the cost of the soil. As you know, the soil is a deficiency of 11 nutrients out of 17 essential nutrients for completion of the life cycle of the crop. So that is one thing. And the soil degradation also going hand in hand. The soil salinity is there, alkalinity is there, acidity is there, waterlogging is there. Those things are very, very rampant during these days. Especially the 11 nutrients, the carbon, nitrogen, NPK, calcium, magnesium, sulfur, iron, zinc, copper, manganese, boron are the prevalent deficiencies occurring in this in the country, in the soil. Of course, that is one thing. In addition to this, nowadays, organic farming and natural farming, it has become very popular, and also the government is also promoting this one. Of course, organic matter, it's very, very essential for the soil health. Without organic carbon, there is no life. So now what is happening here is the organic carbon content in the soil is becoming depleted. It's almost less than 0.3% on an average in the country. If such is the case, still intensive agriculture, pulverization, and these things lead to the carbon converted to carbon dioxide and global warming. and it maybe leads to, if carbon is not there in the soil, ultimately desertification. Therefore, this has to come into a picture that organic matter is very, very important we have to apply. But again, we cannot entirely depend on the organic matter here, because for organic matter trials, we have a lot of long-term studies in the university, in the country also, where they are self-demonstrating that organic matter maybe improves the physical properties, chemical properties, all the properties, but the food production is as such, it's not increasing. The yields are almost, it's not like giving like what we are achieving now. So therefore, under such conditions, the organic farming plus integrated approach, combination will go, nutrients will be supplied with the external input of the chemical fertilizers. That will do and answer the present food productions. And also natural farming, as we know, it is not confined to, it's only confined to few areas, not always. So especially for the perennial crop will do, but for the cereals, pulses and other things, I don't think so, because the removal of nutrients is very high, mining is there, therefore high yield is very much required. Under such condition, natural farming also difficult, according to me, according to my experience of 30 years of experience. So therefore, that is one thing. That is one thing. Therefore, in this direction, the biofortification of nutrients takes a lot of these things. So therefore, as I observed in some of the poster presentation I have seen, some they have made biofortifications, and some have come out with the others with the sanitary stress, and I think they have made it. Therefore, the conducting this Btfp 2022 has raised some hope, and this hope will be successful for the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you for updating us, sir.
Now I request Dr. K. Narayana Gowda, Director of Extension, University of Agriculture Sciences, Bangalore, to address the gathering.
Good afternoon, everybody. Distinguished guests on the dais, learned faculty of the Department of Biotechnology, and we have staff members from other department also. There are learned speakers sitting in the front, participants of this international conference, students, friends, invitees, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I would like to congratulate the entire fraternity of the Department of Biotechnology for organizing this twin program. One is 25th year of their existence, their birthday of the Department of Biotechnology, and to commemorate this birthday, excellently designed international conference. I was wondering how an international conference can be organized in a short period of, in fact, Arani Kumar is my close, in fact, we worked in another organization together. I'm the president and he's the secretary, and Madam also was meeting the Vice Chancellor many times. I was wondering how it can be happening. And I was thrilled to hear all the speakers who are listed in the brochure, they spoke to the audience here. This is a wonderfully and a good arrangements, and with a limited staff. In fact, you are not involved any of the other department people in organizing this one. Your own organized this, and you made all the senior professors, retired HODs to take part, and they blessed the entire program. Really, it's a wonderful experience to be with you. And 25 years is not a small period. It's almost 2.5 decades. A lot of water has flown under the bridge. And I could hear from Shyamalama, nearly 575 MSc students have passed out from this department. Really, it's a great number. And nearing 100 for PhD, around 80 or so PhD have passed out from this. A wonderful statistics, wonderful achievement. And besides this, we look forward, being an extension professional, we look forward what are the tangible outcome from your department, which can be translated into a farmer's field. That is the area where even our Srinivasan also was telling. Here, a lot of emphasis is required, and this biotechnology is a very vast subject and a very thrilling subject, sensationing subject. And for any maladies in agriculture, probably nowadays we look forward the biotechnology. because agronomy and all, they're all very old departments. This is compared to all of the departments, biotechnology is a recent department in this university. And as I said, it's 25 years is not a small period. And a lot of things from the extension perspective, a lot of things we expect, because farmers are facing a lot of problems. And we look forward a magic from the biotechnology. And the other day, in fact, 20 years back, Dr. Ramanjan Gowda was trying on some edible vaccines. That's the area. In fact, crop improvement, your bioinformatics, pest and disease management, and climate resilient technologies, whatever of all gamuts of agriculture can be covered under this. And much more than that, the animal health, human health, because last year all of us experienced, we never thought that this generation will going to have an experience of this corona with a lockdown of months together, where no one was allowed to come out from the house. In fact, no, we never, none of us dreamt that we're going to experience such a era in our lifetime. Because, and everybody was looking for a vaccine. Look at this, sitting locking the door outside and waiting the TVs when the vaccines will be released. That was the trend, that was the opportunity. In fact, our own people, Indian people, and our whole alumni encashed this advantage. Therefore, you have got equal opportunity. And after going through injection for 2 years, now they are going for a oral vaccine. Why not our own people? In fact, there was a muskmelon was, efforts were made in this department. Just by eating a muskmelon, you can keep anti-rabies, this one. Eating a banana, if cancer goes out, what is that, the miracle? It's a miracle for the society we can contribute. And in fact, IT and BT, they're born together. That too, Bangalore in Karnataka, both the departments are owned by one minister, Department of Information Technology and Biotechnology. In fact, both are recent around, but they have contributed, and leaps and bounds this IT has grown. Now a small mobile can give the world, a small chip is enough. The entire world has been covered, has been documented in that. Any program you just dictate to a mobile or your computer, it will convert it into various products. Similarly, in biotechnology also, there are a lot of opportunities, and you can create wonders. That's the one. In fact, this is the university where we fought with nearly 1 month we went on strike. About 20 biotechnology, in fact, in the guise of biotechnology, they came here to the university to rob the property. Nearly 100 acres they were about to take away from this university. In the guise of biotechnology in the year 2003 or 4, in fact, just behind our undergraduate hostel, between undergraduate hostel and our judicial layout, nearly 100 acres they were about to take away. They came with the bulldozers, they came with the police. All of us fought, nearly 1 month we fought for it. All of us were arrested. They declared section 144. Many of our teachers were beaten. And one, I think some of you might be heard of Dr. Chamegowda. He was soil science recently retired. In fact, from escaping from this lathi charge, he was making high jump, being a professor. And the same was captured on the TV and the press photography. And it was a wonderful photograph. And the next day it appeared in all the front page, because the professor escaping from a lathi charge. That's a wonderful. In fact, many of the such water guns in Delhi and all that, many strikes are going on. In fact, the press people always focus on such sensational pictures that they publish. In fact, the doctors went on strike, and a lady was just protesting, standing behind that water cannon. And that photo was most this one. Like that, many sensational. Similarly, this was the one where we fought for 1 month. In fact, we told those people that you come and take the property where now horticulture college come up, horticulture university. There we thought our university admission was ready to give that property. But they had a other hidden agenda. That's the reason we fought. If for to be a biotechnology, if they want to really help our students and all that, we would have helped them. But their intention is to grab the property and to keep that one as a, because it was on the national highway attached to judicial layout, they were looking for a property so that there will be easy access to, from the main road, they can create some resorts or some accommodation for their guests. And to keep, since airport was also already it was scheduled to be taken up in the Bangalore North. Therefore, that was the reason. In fact, that is the one instantly just I recalled, and I wanted to share with the youngsters, because for any such common objectives, goals and all that, all of us should take. Nearly 1 month we bunked the class. Of course, we were all faculty then. All the students, And all the other than a ruling party, all the other political parties came every day. They used to address our students. Each one we were sitting in front of that GKVK gate. This is how we all worked. Therefore, these are all the other opportunities. In fact, of course, it's not, we are not protested because their intentions were something different. They had a hidden agenda. That's the reason we fought and retained. At least now it is a bio heritage area where a lot of green space. Because in the future days, like Lalbagh in Bangalore North, towards Bangalore North, this GKVK will be a lung space for all of us. Therefore, of course, Srinivasan spoke a lot of things about your biotechnology, and we also being in a representing the farmer and extension functionaries, we also look forward. Any like doubling, it's not just increasing 1 or 2 quintals per acre. From biotechnology, we are looking for doubling almost. If we are getting 10 quintals, we are looking, farmers are looking 20 quintals. Similarly in other crops, vegetables, fruits, whatever you say. In fact, tissue culture and cloning is a very old concept, but still it's not been picked up very well. Whereas in by this IT, you can see a lot of changes. In fact, that also can create a lot of things just by adopting tissue culture and cloning. In fact, 20 years back, I went to Edinburgh, Glasgow, where the dolly was created. Dolly using a cell, like in a clonal cell, a sheep was born. It was the first in the history of this world. That was the first time wherein from the cloning a sheep was made created. But still, that's not been practiced now. When that was only an experiment that had been documented. But why that's not been replicated, or it's been used commercially? That's the point. Therefore, whatever the technology you develop, it should be socially acceptable, commercially viable, economically should be beneficial to the farmers, and easily adaptable by our client group. With these few words, I thank all of you for inviting me here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words.
Our guest, Dr. K.C. Narayanaswamy, Director of Education, University of Agriculture Sciences, Bangalore, as he unable to attend the event, we thank him in his absence.
Now, I request Dr. K.M. Harinikumar, Administrative Officer, Professor, and University Head, Department of Plant Biotechnology, University of Agricultural Sciences, Bangalore, to address the gathering.
Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, and my dear colleagues and faculty and teaching and non-teaching faculty and students and also participants. It is a great pleasure to talk to you. This seminar was organized very well. I'm very happy, but I'm not able to be present in physically due to the elevation in my position. But when you hold the post of, when you've taken the charge of professor and head, looking at the list, just to think out what is the year, how many years you completed, exactly is 25 years. Then why can't you thought of having a silver jubilee? So that's why the idea comes to my mind. And that was come to true with my whole faculty. And my special thanks to all the faculty, Dr. Shyamlama, Dr. Veena, Dr. Anita Peter, all seniors and junior faculty, and also students. They work day and night, and also alumni is also supported, and some companies also supported financially. So thanks to all of them, and make my dream true today. I'm very happy to see a nice organizations. When you come to this topic, international conference, so what is the trends in biotechnology? Just think on yourself. So it is a very easy, biotechnology applicable in all the ways nowadays, starting with the crop production to protection. We can apply in any field. Take an entomology, pathology, molecular structure is very important. I'll tell you one of the things you know everyone, the IC, a chip, a small chip in a physical science, or maybe in your mobile, playing so much of work. Similarly, these molecules also can play if you go for modified it or something you can change in that. So like that, there are different opportunities to work in the biotechnology is the one which elevate the food security with respect to the elevation to, for the food security is need, and for all the aspect I'm telling, even for climate change, in pollution. And all those things, there's a lot of future in the biotechnology. Only thing you have to think and apply your mind, we can come with a success. I'll tell you one example. My master student who came with every science week used to invite all the students, including UG and PG students, to present their idea for the startup. You know, very wonderful idea they presented it. And some student have presented idea, just putting some fan over the bus or any vehicle, you can generate electricity. So another student from our department, they come out with a block, waste material, they combine together waste material with a gel, everything. The block can be placed during the rainy season around the plant. There are 4 blocks can be placed. So during rainy season, the water will be absorbed, and during the summer, whatever the water is absorbed in the block slowly released to the plant, and finally it degrades. Such a organic block they have developed it, and this is how idea comes from the student. It's a wonderful idea. So what happened? Usually everyone is thought of that. The moment you got some idea, they leave it and go some other aspect. Why I'm telling all of you young entrepreneurs, so if you work for 5, 10 years, some with the idea, certainly you will get results. You cannot do 1 month, 1 year, 2 years and leave it, you will not get. Concentrate on that. That is called tapassu. You have to work hard, then only you will come out with a good product. In this occasion, I would like to thank you all the participants and also the speakers. A wonderful talk, I had it. And hope they have made some message to that and make a video and other thing, YouTubes. Please circulate among them and think on that. In this occasion, I will message to my young faculty in biotechnology, students and others. So now our faculty have given the initiate the step for silver medal. Now I request you go for gold medal. So for that you have to plan. Thank you so much for all of you for the support and other things you have done. And thanks to the Samlama as a leader of this biotechnology, done a wonderful work. Thank you all. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words.
To grace this ceremony, we have with us Dr. Baswe Gaura, Registrar, University of Agricultural Sciences, Bengaluru, to address the gathering.
Respected Dr. Srinivas sir, ADG ICR, Dr. K. Narayan Gowda sir, Dr. Arun Kumar sir, Dr. H.C. Prakash, Dr. Samlama HOD, and all the faculty members of the Department of Biotechnology, distinguished speakers, and my classmate Dr. Iranna, and all the participants. Now you already have not the good speaker also, because you already waiting for the other occasion actually. Lot of prizes and all, even awards also are giving, I think, mostly. Now Dr. Srinivas sir already told actually, any science actually without technology and management, it is a waste. Now whatever the technologies, even Arni Kumar also highlighted actually, the science with technology and management, then only with commercial ideas. That is the day of this one actually. Earlier used to say only you will have a science and we can publish and this one actually. Now you have to patent it, commercialize, then publish the data. That is the day of this one. That you have to take the take-home message also. Then second one actually, that again IPR is one of the important, again Dr. Srinivasan sir highlighted actually, that is one of the protection of our technology that has to be taken care actually. Then Dr. Prakash sir told actually, even with the enhancing the population and yield actually, where natural resources you are neglecting actually. That also has to be targeted to conserve our soil and plant and this one biodiversity, that is has to be taken care with the development actually. Then again Dr. Narayan Gowda sir told actually, that is the any technology, it's unless it is useful to the farming community, it has to be taken, that you have to this one actually. Then Arvind Kumar sir already told actually with the live examples actually how technologically commercialized this one also. Even Biocon, this one you may be knowing actually. Kiran Mobi, how you promoted with the vaccines and all that only. But that means actually the technology you have to commercialize. In addition to that actually, there are a lot of challenges actually. Maybe you've done lot of work in the science and all actually. Still you may be knowing actually now this year what is the climate change and all. Even Bangalore now it is in the international news it is covering now because of the flood and all actually. And also again drought will be there actually. Then salinity will be there. For that there is a lot of challenges to have the develop the genotypes flood resistant or drought resistant, salinity resistant, that has to be concentrated actually. Again now actually Dr. Prakash also telling 308 or some of this one food production and all. Now nutrition security. Since student time you are earning golden rice and all actually still it is not materialized. There is a lot of chances to have a nutrition security especially in the backward area, rural areas and all actually. Maybe oral vaccine, oral food and all now millets and all telling. Biofortification that with the natural food actually. You cannot, farmers or rural people should not buy the product again. You have to biofortify the seeds with the local food and all actually. That is the need of this one that has to be taken care actually. Then health concern actually again. That is a good example, Krishna, how we exploited vaccines and all, actually affordable health, this one actually, that is has to be this one. Then resources efficiency. Whatever the water may be efficiency, nutrients and all, that has to be taken care. What is the meaning this one actually? You have to integrate with other disciplines to improve the efficiency of the nutrient under the resources, natural resources, and so that whatever our Prime Minister is aiming for the doubling the income. Doubling the income means you have to reduce the cost. First 50% cost has to be reduced, then only income will be doubled actually. For that you have to take in. Then precision agriculture, now you are telling actually now artificial intelligence and all, drone technology and all actually. Whether biotechnology role is there with that technology advances and all actually. That has to be exploited. Then energy is a major this one now. That has to be, especially in agriculture also, whether your agriculture faculty, how alternate energy with the use of the biotechnologies and all actually, that has to be taken care actually. Then machine learning and all, now that we cost of cultivation and all, we may be knowing actually. For that any technology we have to integrate and all. Then regulatory restrictions also. Now we may be knowing actually when BT cotton started, it gave a lot of impact on the farmers' income and all actually. Similarly, again, European country, other this one actually, there is a, against the BT, other technology, transgenics and all, there should be some awareness in the society also. There should be debated with scientific reasons and all. Then only our technology will be adapted in the, this one, whatever the investment we made, especially BT, Binjal, still it is not, commercially it is not actually. Before that only we should have a parallel discussion with the society, what is the impact on this one, whether it is any negative this one is there. While doing the research only you have to take care that one actually. Then international acceptance also. When you starting the producing the product in this one actually, when it is not exported and all for farmers and all, that is also your technology should be accepted, not only in traditional this one, it is outside also. For that you have to take care also. Definitely other this one already covered in your this one actually. Only concern is actually our technology should be integrated and it should have a social concern actually with the, especially for the nutrition and all, rural development and all, then only it will be useful to the society actually. This is all technology developed by use of the public money and all. That has to be benefited. Thank you once again to all actually for providing opportunity, and also congratulations to all the faculty members and all actually for successful completion of the program actually with the limited resources and all actually. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom.
Now, to acknowledge the talent of different participants and honor their hard work,
I cordially invite Dr. Bhavani P., Assistant Professor, Department of Plant Biotechnology, University of Agricultural Sciences, Bengaluru, to continue the prize distribution ceremony.
Good evening, all. So we have arrived at the most awaited session of the event. At the outset, I'm happy to inform you that we received a downpour of poster and abstracts, and it was a Herculean task to shortlist the abstracts. Okay. And around 250 posters and 31 oral presentations were shortlisted. And among these, major posters were in the theme of crop improvement. There were 107 posters presented in the theme of crop improvement, 62 posters in frontiers in biochemistry and bioinformatics, 48 posters in environmental and biofuel biotechnology, 5 under animal biotechnology category, 16 under industrial biotechnology, and 8 under entrepreneurship in biotechnology posters. And all these posters were assessed based on, both poster and oral presentations were assessed based on scientific relevance, presentation skills, and future impact of the study. The panel of jury who were involved in the evaluation were selected based on the relevance of expertise in each of the theme areas from various institutes across the city. Okay. So now I call upon under each category 3 posters. Crop improvement, Mr. Swarnadeep Ghosh. Division of Genetics, ICR, IRI, New Delhi. Mr. Sandesh GM and Mr. Pramesh from US Raichur. And I request our chief guest, Dr. Srinivas, to hand over the certificates to the awardees. Under frontiers in biochemistry and bioinformatics, I just announce the names. Please be available near the dais. Mr. N.R. Kiran, CMAP, Darshan SN, Department of Horticulture, GKVK, Akshita Davane, Regional Center for Biotechnology, Faridabad. Next, frontiers of biotechnology and biochemistry and bioinformatics, Mr. Kiran, CMAP. Mr. Darshan, Department of Horticulture, GKVK. Ms. Akshita, Regional Center for Biotechnology, Faridabad. Environment and Biofuel Biotechnology, Meghna BN, Department of Apiculture, UAS Bangalore. M. Vijay, Department of Agriculture Statistics, UAS Bangalore. M. Vijay, Department of Agriculture Statistics. Meghna BN, Department of Apiculture. Industrial Biotechnology, Bharat Kumar N, Department of Agriculture Microbiology, UAS Bangalore. Vishwaradhya Biradhar, Department of Food Processing and Food Engineering, UAS Bangalore. Mr. Entrepreneurship in Biotechnology, B. Kalpana, Staff Training Unit, UAS Bangalore. Amara Nanjundeshwara, UHS Bagalkot. Dr. B. Kalpana, Staff Training Unit, UAS Bangalore. Dr. Amara Nanjundeshwara, UHS Bagalkot. So now I call upon awardees of oral presentations. I request Dr. Basavegowda, Registrar, UAS Bangalore, to issue the certificates. Dr. H.H. Kumar Swami, Dr. Raghavendra Gunaya, UHS Bagalkot. This is under crop improvement. Dr. Raghavendra Gunaya, UHS Bagalkot. Ms. Garima Paul, Regional Center for Biotechnology, Faridabad. Ms. Garima Paul, Faridabad. Frontiers in Biochemistry and Bioinformatics, Dr. Kavita Rao Sarvepalli, MS Ramaya College of Applied Sciences. Dr. Prabha, IASRI, New Delhi. She presented online. Okay, she made an online presentation. Animal Biotechnology, Dr. Manoj B.S., Bioness UASB, UAS Bangalore. Industrial Biotechnology, Dr. M. Manjunath. Dr. M. Manjunath, Professor and Head, ICR PhET, UAS Bangalore. Entrepreneurship in Biotechnology, Dr. Shobha D. Post-Harvest Technology, UAS Bangalore. Dr. Shobha D. Dr. H. Amara Nanjundeshwara. I thank all the participants, oral and poster presentations, for your active participation. And this is also an occasion to express our gratitude for all those who have worked relentlessly from the conceptualization to execution for this conference. So I just call upon all the members of organizing committee and the organizing secretary, and I request all our guests, the chief guests, to hand over the mementos to the members. Dr. Shamalama, head of the department, organizing secretary. Dr. Harini Kumar KM, University Head and Administrative Officer. Dr. Anita Peter, Professor, Co-Organizing Secretary. Dr. Veena S. Anil. Dr. Veena S. Anil, Professor and Co-Organizing Secretary. Dr. Krishna Prasad BT, Professor. Dr. Nagesha N. Dr. Benalal Saraswati. Dr. Geeta Govin. Dr. Mohan Chavan. Dr. Ramesh BN. Dr. Nagesha SN. Dr. Ningraju TM. Mrs. Purnima R. Dr. Bharat Prasad. Dr. Kumar Swami. Dr. DC Anumantappa. Dr. Pooja SK. Dr. Akash D. Dr. Ganesh Murthy. Dr. Ganesh Murthy. It's also time to remember all our non-teaching staff who have worked parallelly with us. Mr. Ravi Kumar HR, Shanta Kumari, Parinaya, Shashank, Shivakumar, Naveen Kumar, Chikviraya, Pratima, Aishwarya, Vidyashri. Vidya is there? Vidya. Radhamma, Bailamma and Bhimamma.
Next year, Babbalma.
It's over, sir. I call upon Manoj and Lakshmi Shah. Okay. I thank all the dignitaries for supporting this function. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, ma'am.